This is Amud Yomi Gemara Berachos Daf Nun Amud Aleph. We're holding on the top of Nun Amud Aleph. We concluded with the din of Shmuel. We'll just reread one more time to get ourselves in the flow of things. On the top line, Tam Rav Ada Barava Amri Beirav. Ta'anina, we learned in the Mishnah Shisha, if you have 6 people, then Nechlakim Atzara, they could split up into 2 groups for a Zimun until there's 10. So it explains the Gemara from here, we have a Raya to Shmuel. What's the Raya? If you're going to say that Nevarech is better than Baruch Hu, like Shmuel taught us, then everything is good, and that's the reason why you're allowed to split up 6 people into groups of 3, because you're going to say Nevarech and not Baruch Hu. But says the Gemara, then the Mishamach Nechlakim. Eliyam Rip Baruch Hu Adif, Amay Nechlakim, why are you splitting up? Alav Shmamina Nevarech Adif Shmamina. And off of this, says the Gemara, Tanam Yach, another Raya, Ben Shem Baruch Hu, Ben Shem Nevarech. We don't seize him for this. But those who were perfectionists did indeed like Shmuel. Continues the Gemara. This is the new Gemara from the Berachos of a person. We're 8 lines down. First one line is Berachos. From the Berachos of a person, Nikar, you could tell. Im Talmid Chacham hu im lav. How? Keitzad Rebbe Yomer Uve Tuvai. During Zimun, he says Uve Tuvai Ariza Talmid Chacham. Mi Tuvai Ariza Bor. Rashi explains Uve Tuvai includes himself in the bracha. Uve Tuvai is more in the plural. Uve Tuvai seems that he's decreasing the blessings from Hashem. Ariza Bor. From your blessing, Hashem shall bless us. So we see a precedent to saying Umei Berachos. So why would we not say Umei Tuvai? Answers Gemara B'Shila Shiny. When you're asking for Hashem, as Rashi explains, then you ask like an ani who shayla al Pesach. You ask for last. Therefore, you say Umei Tuvai. B'Shila Nami asks the Gemara, what do you mean? We know the klal Harchek Bichavam Aleu. Hashem is infinite. If you're asking, go for the gold. Open your mouth up wide. Answers Gemara, no, that's only ahu b'divrei Torah. That's only with regarding to words of Torah. That's what we say. Open your mouth and ask Hashem for as much as possible. I think they say over from the Nitziv or the Chalushi Arim. The only tefillah that Hashem can't say no to is to daven that one should be a Talmid Chacham. Harchev pichav amalhu. Tefillah that Amir Hashem we should all be zeicha to. Tani, we learned that the Raisa Rabbi Aimer teaches Rabbi. Betuvai chayinu. What are you supposed to say? Betuvai, through your goodness chayinu, we live. If you say such, he's a Talmid Chacham. But if you say betuvai chayim, ariza bor, because you're not including yourself. A bor is an ignoramus, and amaretz, you're not including yourself in the bracha. Now Rabbi Masni Yevchad, and Rabbi is learned the other way. Besides Gemara, no. Bless the Chassan Rabbi. It's not a wee paskin. Amar Rav Yochanan, 7 lines from the wide lines. The first one a line, the kids in Rabbi. Amar Rav Yochanan, one who says, let us bless Hashem, of whom we've eaten his food, Arizah Talmid Chacham. To the one we have eaten, Arizah Bor. Amar le Ravacha, we read the Ravav, the Rashi, V'amrinan. But we say, which is similar to Lemi Shachalnu Mishalai. Sounds like it's a good thing. Amar le, Dasa Mucha Mils over there. That's in the Haggadah. That's Muchach referring to Hashem. Why? Man of Nisa. Because it says we're davening Mishasa Avasenu Nisim. So for Nisim, it's clear that we're talking to Hashem Kuchabrichu. But if it's not for Nisim, Navari Shachalnu Mishalai is better. Why? Because the Mishachalnu Mishalai seems that we're just blessing everyone, including the Balabayas, and not only Hashem. Amar Rav Yochanan Baruch Shachalnu Mishalai, Harizah Talmid Chacham, Al HaMazon Shachalnu, then Harizah Bor. Amar Rav Huna B'Rei Rav Yeshua Marnel B'Shleisha. When there's 3 people, like Shem Shemayavel Basara. Similar to what we just said a moment ago. Once you have 10 people, and therefore Tika Shem Shemayim and Mucha Milsatz Muchach, whom you are blessing. Therefore, there is no problem. Kidit Tanan, as we learned in a Mishnah on the second very wide line, Kinin Shumavarech, Kach Oinem Achra, Baruch Hashem L'kei Yisrael, L'kei Savakais, Yosha Hakruvim, Ala Mazain Sha'achalnu. We go back quoting the Mishnah on the third wide line in which we quoted, Echad Asar, V'echad Asar Riboy. Whether we have 10 myriads, 10,000, it's the same thing. And obviously, when we read the Mishnah, we sort of glossed over this detail because the Gemara now is going to pick up on it. Could be if you looked at Rashi, this is clear to you. But ask the Gemara, Hagufa Kasha. The Mishnah is a stira. First, the Mishnah says, Amr Echad Asar, V'echad Asar Riboy, it's all the same thing. Alma Ki Adadininu. Father Gedonim, then the Mishnah says, it says different brachas for each group of people. So what's going on? Is it the same or is it not? Answers the Gemara, Amar Yosef Loi Kasha. Harav Yosef Glili, Harav Akiva. The Tan Yosef Glili, I'm the Vireva Kalim Avarch, Hashem Akil's Baruch Holikim. Amar Rav Akiva, Mam's in the basic in Essence. Rav Akiva holds it's always the same. For Yosef Glili holds that there's different amounts for different amounts of people. And that is the two opinions in the Mishnah. Continues the Gemara of Rav Akiva. According to Rav Akiva, Hay Krad Yosef Glili Ma'avid. Classical Gemara form asks the Gemara of Yosef Glili at a pasuk. B'makelos Baruch Holakim. So what does Rav Akiva do with that pasuk? Answers the Gemara. No, Rav Akiva needs his pasuk for a Joshua Mibai Little Chatanya. We learned in a Braisa. How do we know that at Kriyas Yamsuf, when Hashem split the sea, that even the Ober, the fetus in the mother's womb, said Shira Shenema? Rameir learns this out from, or Akiva learns this out from B'makelos Baruch Holakim Hashem Imkar Yisrael. And of course, in the classical case of ping pong ve'idach, basically he responds that no, mimikar navcha. We learn now from that word, and therefore there is no kasha. Amar Rav Alach Rav Akiva, which is what we do, of course. That zimun is the same for 10, 100, or 1,000. Ravina of Rav Chama Barbuzi, Rish Kaluza. They went to the house of the Rish Kaluza. Come, Rav Chama, come out there, Rabbi Meya. Rav Chama got up. And he was trying to get 100 people. Amar le Ravina loy sricha. Hacham Rava lachik Rav Akiva, that you don't need anything more than 10. Amar Rava ki achlun rifta beish kalusa. When he brought in the house of beish kalusa for chidin shleisha shleisha, we would have a zimun in groups of 3. Ask the Gemara 1 second. Why don't you do 10s? Answers the Gemara, you know why not? Because Shamar Reish Kalusa Vikbin, maybe the Reish Kalusa would hear, and he would be makbid if we made Zimun's in 10s. Says Gemara Shkoyach, so if an Efka Berachos Reish Kalusa, so why don't you just bench together with the Reish Kalusa? What are you doing over here, making your own Zimun in the whole story? Answers Gemara, it was very noisy. Lo Shami, they were nervous, they were not going to be able to hear the Reish Kalusa, and that is the reason why they split up and did the Zimun onto themselves. Amar Rabba Taisva, says the Gemara, Ani Shloisha Derachi Karchi Rifta Badi Adadi, 3 people that broke bread together, and one of them went ahead and benched on his own without a zimun. The other 2 are able to make a zimun with him. Even though he benched early, he still is able to answer in the zimun, so that they who did not bench could have a zimun. However, he does not discharge. He himself is messed up. He is not Yotzei Zimun. He lost out, but he could indeed help them. And 4 lines from the Mishnah says, Shmuel says, dealing with the din in the shul, as explains the Gemara, Rav and Bar Baba went to the shul of Abaya Gvir. He got up and he read from a Torah of Amru Berachos Hashem. And no one else responded on Mavayrach. And what happened? He said Berachos Hashem, and he didn't say Hamavayrach. Everyone responded. Amar Rava, you black vessel. Why get involved in a machlekes in the Mishnah? Lamaisa, we are noig like Rav Yishmael, that we don't just say Berachos Hashem, but rather we say Berachos Hashem and Vayrach, which of course is what we do. We'll conclude with the Mishnah. Teaches the Mishnah, they're not allowed to split up. And similarly 4 but Shisha nachlakim into 2 groups out of Sarah till 10. Vasari nachlakim ad esrim until 2 groups of 20. Which this is the reason, as we will see, that someone is in a group of 10. He's at a bris at a wedding. You're not allowed to leave unless you had a mind in the beginning. Says Ramesha, etc. 2 groups eating together. When par can see par, they could combine as even. Lav, they cannot see each other. They each make their own zimun. We should not make a bar priagafen over wine till you put water into dilute it. If you could make a bar priagafen over wine. We'll stop over here. I'll pick it up in the Gemara the next year. B'siyata dishmaya.